YouTube, it's Sean from Sean's Hockey here, and we are back reviewing the best Ottawa Senators November since the 2019-2020 season, guys. What a month it's been. 13 games, 6 wins, 7 losses, full of drama. Before we start, guys, don't forget to use the jump cuts in the description, and also give me a follow on Facebook on the Ottawa Senators European fan page, and on Instagram where I have a similar name but just with underscores in it, as it is on the screen here. Going to be starting to share more sort of card content across those channels as well, just putting out Ottawa Senators cards that I've got, and also we got some gaming content coming soon to the YouTube channel, so it's going to be really interesting. I love chatting with Senators fans from all over the world, and that goes for NHL and ice hockey fans in general. So pop on over to those pages, hit subscribe here, and also follow me on those channels as well to continue the interactions. So let's get going, guys. The Sens came into November with hopes high. They had a massive 7-game road trip that would come to the end towards the end of the month, although saying that, they did actually play 1 game in December, but that's not November's problem. So yeah, they had a huge road trip towards the end. We had a contract signing, we had a massive injury return, but the Senators started off with 2 overtime losses, one to Montreal. They came from 2 goals down in this one. They looked okay, just against Montreal though. You really want to be putting on a show, and to be fair, Montreal just wanted it more towards the end. We came into this game with the most goals conceded in the Atlantic Division with 51, which was just crazy when you think about it, really. We then went to Boston, and yeah, unfortunately we stunk the joint out there and lost in OT as Pavel Zacha scored the winner. Probably Ullmark should have done better on the actual winner there, but yeah, anyway, we got 2 points out of the first 2 games of the road trip, so even though they were losses, I always look at those extra points in OT is, you know, that is a win down the road, isn't it? 2 OT losses there. We then went on a 2-game win streak where we played Philadelphia. Tim Stutzle scored the winner there. Absolutely beautiful finish. One of my games that we're going to recap on in a minute as well was a 4-2 victory against the Mammoth. Levi Merilainen was just outstanding in this game against a really young team, but we'll touch on this again in a minute down the line. We then went and lost to the Dallas Stars. Robertson sniped an absolute bullet past Ullmark. Absolutely have no chance of stopping those sort of shots. Chabot also picked up a slight knock, which would come to fruition further down the line, and we'll touch on that in a minute. Next up was Boston, where the Sens won 5-3. They absolutely put on a clinic this night. Ullmark was solid, made 34 saves on the night, and Pinto capped off a contract renewal with the Sens, which we will touch on later in the video, and he also scored his 9th goal of the season in that game as well. The Sens then went and lost to the LA Kings, and credit to Anton Forsberg on the night. He was absolutely immense coming back to the CTC. Was sad to see all Forsberg go, to be fair. I said in my season review video, it would have been good to have seen the Sens try to attempt to sign him to a sort of a lesser deal to keep him around Ottawa, just for the goaltending tandem that you knew to let Levy cook in the AHL another season. But to be fair, that's you know, Levy's really turned it around this month, and to be fair also, the Sens goaltending tandem has really turned it around as a whole this season. So this month, should we say this season, listen. Best November since 1920, guys. Let's recap that again, eh? The Sens then went on to play the Anaheim Ducks and won 3-2. This was another game that I want to cap off again in a minute. Just a really good display. Great to see Stephen Halliday picking up his first NHL point on his NHL debut as well. Always good to see a player get a welcome chance at the NHL level. He has impressed massively at the AHL level, and apparently he's been a player that a lot of teams, whenever Sens have been inquiring about trades, that they want to see if he's involved. And apparently Ottawa, thank God, have got no interest in trading Stephen Halliday. The Sens then went to San Jose, and this is a point where I want to drop in the rookie season podcast, as I was lucky enough to join Andy and Steve. They are a British podcast. The rookie season, I'll just give you a brief intro here. It's essentially, Steve is the sort of knowledgeable one. Sorry, Andy. Andy classes himself as a rookie on the podcast. They're 2 British people. Steve has watched hockey a long time. He's a Vancouver Canucks fan. Really knowledgeable guy. Not to say that Andy isn't, but he is learning as he goes. He was sort of tentatively thinking about being a San Jose Sharks fan. But I was lucky enough to be invited on to cover that game with them on their podcast and chat through. If you guys like listening to things like this, they explain the rules of hockey. It's really, really good content, guys. Please go check them out. Not just saying that because I've been on there. You'll see from all of their videos that they've done. I think I was one of their first handful of subscribers, and I love their content. Really hope to do something else for them down the line again. So, shameless plug for you guys. The rookie season, definitely go check out Steve and Andy. Well worth a subscription, guys. I believe they're at 16 now, which is amazing. So go over and check them out. But I really enjoyed sharing my thoughts on the Sens and also the game against the San Jose Sharks with them on that show. Go give it a listen and give them a sub, guys. But anyway, talking about the San Jose Sharks, Zetterlund scored a beauty against his former team as he went high over Alex Nedeljkovic, and also Thomas Chabot missed the last 5 minutes through injury, so that was a little bit of a worry there. But anyway, we then lost to the LA Kings and Thomas Chabot was out. So yeah, as I said, he picked up the original injury in the game against the Dallas Stars late on, and I think he probably re-aggravated something there. But so Thomas Chabot was out. He did not play, and the Sens went down 2-1. But Fabian Zetterlund scored again, and the Sens penalty kill slipped to 70%, which was 31st in the league, which is just crazy for a team that were around the playoff spots for most of November. The Sens then went on to a 4-3 victory against the Vegas Golden Knights, a game we're going to cap off in a minute and just go in a little bit more detail. Brilliant game there. It ended a 2,826-day losing streak for the Ottawa Senators in Vegas. How amazing is that to get that off your back? What a losing skid for someone in Vegas, eh? Brady returned to the lineup after his long-awaited layoff. I think he missed something like 20-odd games. Brady returned for the game against his childhood club that he supported, the St. Louis Blues, and the Sens went down to a 4-3 loss. Fabian Zetterlund scored again, and Jake Sanderson got to play goaltender towards the end as he saved an almost certain goal, literally on the line, playing goaltender as Allmark was stranded over the other side of the net. The Sens went down to the Blues, unfortunately, and they just got outclassed on the night. So they really didn't bring much to it. It was a very, very sort of, I wouldn't say that they really deserved to win. It was just a game that, to be fair, both teams sort of cancelled each other out, and the Blues wanted it more. So, but then we went on to the worst game of the season, in my opinion. The worst performance, sorry. It's no stress losing 6-1 to the Dallas Stars. They just look an absolute juggernaut this season. Although Tyler Seguin has just gone down with an injury, it looks like that could actually be a season-ending injury, which is just awful. Tyler Seguin is such a legendary player, so all our hopes and thoughts go to Tyler and hope he makes a swift recovery. But outclassed on the night, Robertson absolutely ran the show for the Stars. He was just relentless the whole night. God, I would love him to be in a Senators jersey. Can you imagine if we managed to get Robertson from the Maple Leafs and also Robertson from the Dallas Stars? Never going to happen, but can you imagine? Both of them are sort of players looking either for a new contract or a possible change of scenery. It would just be immense. But I cannot imagine the trade package you would need to get Robertson, especially on his form. But then again, they might not be able to sign him. So it's going to be an interesting one to see what happens with Robertson there. But yeah, we'll just see what happens. There's 3 games that were real statement wins for the Sens in this month out of the 6, where they went 6 wins and 7 losses. I think I've already said that in this video, but anyway, I've said it again. The first one I'm going to go for is the Utah Mammoth, where the Sens ran out 4-2 winners. On the night, Levi Merilainen was on top form. He made some key saves close in, especially late in the third. He really kept us in it. Defensively, the Sens looked absolutely amazing against a talented side with players like Clayton Keller and Dylan Gunther. They absolutely caused non-stop problems for us, especially in the second period. And also, Jordan Spence got his first goal for the Sens. He's looked so good. I'm really impressed with that trade. I am so happy he's an Ottawa Senator. He's going to be such a good part for this team moving forward, just brings such pace to the game, and he also sees a pass. And you know what? He's playing on so many different things now. He's playing on the power play. He's playing up and down the lineup as well. And he's just looking a class act out there. It's really good to see him stepping up. Really good news as well for things as like, we've got some key contracts up at the end of the season. Nick Jensen's up at the end of the season as one of the D. We've got Artem Zub, who has had an absolutely amazing season for the Sens this year. But, he's in his 30s now as well. His contract isn't up this season. I believe it's up next season. But yeah, just to see Jordan Spence stepping it up is absolutely amazing. It was the first time actually I've really seen Karel Vejmelka playing for the Mammoth. I've watched a fair few of their games this season, but I've never really noticed him as much as I did against the Sens. He was really, really good. He kept that score respectable. Could have very, very easily been as we would say in the UK, a cricket score that game. As the Sens could have easily had 6 or 7 on the night. But yeah, Vejmelka was on form for them. And the second game I want to talk about is the Anaheim Ducks. You know what? These are important games. They're young teams, both the Mammoth and the Ducks. These are young teams that are up and coming, so it's really, really good to sort of compare yourself with these teams. Ullmark kept us in it towards the end of the third period, where they could have very easily scored a goal towards the end. They really, really came on big. The Sens on the night actually ran out 3-2 winners, and then, like I said, the game was Stephen Halliday's NHL debut, and he helped himself to a point. When he grabbed an assist on Shane Pinto's equaliser. Goals from Jake Sanderson and Shane Pinto. You can't sort of fault the compete level from the Sens this night. They were absolutely amazing. Drake Batherson bagged the winner as well. So it's really, really good to see him starting to get back involved in the goal scoring. He's such a class act, Batherson, and he's really finding his feet this season. Obviously, he was injured at the beginning. It's going to be really interesting to see how he continues to improve. This game, especially against the Ducks, was impressive also because we gave up the lead and the Sens showed massive resilience to come back and still get the win, which is what you want to see from the team at the end of the day. The last game I also want to go through, so this will be free, just recapping the games in more detail, was against the Vegas Golden Knights. And what can I say? Linus Ullmark stood on his absolute head in this one. Like I said, bringing an end to a 2,826-day winless streak in Vegas. The Sens grabbed the 2 points, and Jake Sanderson had a goal and assist, and Shane Pinto scored the lone shootout goal to lead the Sens past the Knights on the night. Rare victory as well. The Golden Knights had 12-1-1 overall record against the Sens at the T-Mobile Arena. So, yeah, the Sens had to get performances all over the ice, and you know what? They actually did. They did all this without Brady Tkachuk as well, because he hadn't returned at this point, and Thomas Chabot. It's just absolutely crazy to see how this team kept coming on the night. They looked absolutely outstanding. And as I said, Linus Ullmark was just absolutely unreal on the night. He stopped so much, especially in the third period, at overtime and the shootout, let's be honest. He absolutely bailed us out a good few times. And it was even better to see Mitch Marner stonewalled for the winner at the end, as Linus Ullmark turned him aside to win the games for the Sens. Tim Stutzle, absolutely flawless in the face-off dot along with Claude Giroux. I mean, wow, we're going to touch on Tim Stutzle in a minute, but just an absolutely amazing game from the Sens. One of my favourite games of the season so far, for sure. So let's touch on some news around the league, shall we? So, 1, Shane Pinto signed a new deal with the Sens, which keeps him with us for another 4 seasons, an average AAV of $7.5 million a season, which, to be fair, with this team, actually settles really, really well. It fits in with a lot of the key pieces. We've got a lot of other players that are signed for a similar amount of time, apart from Tim Stutzle. He's here for years and years and years. He may as well actually just retire a Sen at the moment with his contract. It works so well with players like Tim Stutzle, Dylan Cousins, and we got Jake Sanderson also signed up to the 2030 season. So, it's going to be really, really interesting to see how this contract ages with the increasing cap. But I think, it's a great deal for both sides. And I'll be honest, Shane Pinto this season, he's proved me completely wrong. I said at the beginning of the season in my sort of season preview, that he had to prove it. It was a prove it year. I wanted to see more from Shane Pinto, and you know what? He's absolutely smashed that barrier. And he deserves that $7.5 million. I think that was a very, very fair deal the Sens got on both sides. But yeah, can't actually argue with the job that Steve Staios has done here. He's building this team for the future, and these players are just going to get better with age. So his contract turns into a sort of 10-team no trade in the last 2 years of the deal. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I think the Sens by then will be in their prime competitive window, and just with players that are going to have aged so well, and with the additions of Yakimchuk as well on D, just going to be crazy to see how this team does down the line. So yeah, really, really happy to see that. The next one, welcome to the Fabian Zetterlund show, everyone. Absolutely unreal. He's been on a tear this month, helping himself to goals, assists. he's physical. He's a big body. He's been throwing it around. He's been scoring important goals and impressive goals as well. He scored a brilliant goal against Nedeljkovic against the Sharks. As we touched on, he just looks a completely different player this month. I had him on the iceberg in the last thumbnail picture for the last video. He is off that iceberg. That is well and truly forward for Fabian Zetterlund. He's out an absolute heater. He just looks a completely different player. It's funny, these players, once they get a bit of confidence in their game, it completely changes the way they play. And around them, he's on the penalty kill as well. He's a big body. He's throwing it around. He's winning the puck. He's winning his board battles. He's winning net front rushes. It's going to be impressive now to see how Zetterlund does from here on out. We're only in November. We're technically in December, actually, when I'm recording this. But, he's on a tear. He's a completely different player. So, yes, welcome to the Fabian Zetterlund show, guys. Thank God he has finally started to produce. But next thing we're going to touch on is Brady returns. Well, Brady came back, as we said, against the team he followed as a kid, the St. Louis Blues. And, he looked good. He was similar in the way to Fabian Zetterlund, throwing the body around, getting involved. No signs of any problems with injury. I loved the first few shifts. People were really trying him out, shoving him, throwing him away from the net and stuff, seeing if he would react. And you know what? The good boy he is, he didn't even bother to react. So, you know what? Brady, class act. He's really, really put a shift in since he's come back. And he's just added more grit to the team. It's good to have him out there. Just the experience out on the ice as well. We just need to get Thomas Chabot back now. And we have a full complement of players back for the team. And we'll be at pretty much full strength. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens when Thomas Chabot returns as well. Also, we're going to touch on again, Tim Stutzle continues to impress at his defensive game. What can I say that I haven't said about Tim Stutzle before? He's just completely changed the way he plays his game since he had his career season a few seasons ago. He's just been absolutely insane. He's insane in the face-off dot. He's up 12% on last season at 60% already. And it's just a two-way game. He's in front of the net, tipping pucks out. He got injured when he went into the boards against Dallas Stars, I believe. But anyway, he was straight up. He was chipping pucks out from the front of the net, breaking plays up. And just his all-round game. He looks dialed in. We are so lucky to have Tim Stutzle on the contract he is on, and like Shane Pinto, it's going to be great to see how that ages down the line. So yes, massive shout out. The Sens also completed another trade, and we got back Dennis Gilbert. I really like Dennis Gilbert. He's only played like a handful of games for the Sens. I think he's only played twice. One of them was actually against the team we acquired him from last season. I think it was when we got him from Buffalo in the Dylan Cousins trade. He played in that game, I believe. And we got him back from the Philadelphia Flyers for Max Guenette. It's good to see Garnett get a change. It just wasn't progressing here. There wasn't the routes forward for him. And we get back Dennis Gilbert, which is impressive to see. So, really hope Dennis gets back in the team. I believe he's on the road trip at the moment. He was called up just with Thomas Chabot being injured. And it's going to be good to see how Dennis sort of settles in. He's had 2 assists already at the AHL level, so he's producing. So as we said, guys, a mightily impressive November for the Ottawa Senators. I haven't got the up-to-date table because I actually forgot to take a picture of one on the 30th of November. But here is a table from the 4th of December. The Sens have actually played one more game since. But at the end of the month, they were actually in second place. And look right down the bottom there. 26 games played, 12 wins, 11 losses is the Toronto Maple Leafs. I know they're only a few points below us, but their fan base is not happy. I know a few Maple Leaf fans, as we touched on in the last video, and you know what, Marner's not exactly tearing up trees in Vegas, but it's so good that he's over. He's not with the Leafs anymore. They have got some serious surgery to do. That team is getting older. They haven't got many prospects. I don't know what happens with the Leafs, but I'm going to stop hating on them. We're a Sens podcast here, so let's just go on that, But anyway, Lightning are contending, obviously, right at the top, but right at the bottom, the Florida Panthers. I mean, they'll come good towards the end of the season, but you know what? How long can you actually say that? They are bottom. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens with Florida when they start to get their key pieces back and what they do trade-wise. The Sens have just had a solid November. We head into December and the festive period. I hope you're all as full of confidence as I am with this team. I'm absolutely loving watching the games. I've managed to watch a fair few of the games this month live, and it's been an absolute joy to watch. So Long may it continue, guys. Long may Fabian Zetterlund's resurgence and point streaks carry on. He has made a massive difference and come up huge for the Sens this month. So well done, Fabian. And I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you again down the line in the December review. And until then, guys, please feel free to comment, rate and subscribe. And I'll see you all again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.